So very good morning to all of you. So today we are going to complete the scope of public administration. The scope means the domain, that what are the areas that public administration covers. Public administration का क्या meaning होता है? That it is an external arm of the state. Okay, it primarily focused on execution, implementation aspect of the public policies and the public laws. So इसको meanings के साथ आप तैयार करें. Just like the meaning, we have studied the individual schools of thought and then we had taken some schools of thoughts, right? So in this scope, we have in the last class, हमने क्या देखा? That somewhere the individual thinkers like the Willoughby, that Bailey and Ridley, the Fifner, they tried to give some what are the areas that public administration studies. What are the areas? According to Willoughby, it is organizational structure, organizational process, organizational behavior. Similarly, Bailey and Ridley, उन्होंने क्या बताया? Bailey and Ridley say that it includes the study about descriptive dimension, normative dimensions, assumptive dimensions, instrumental dimensions. All these we have seen. Then according to the Fifner, administration, it means at what levels? It means at the local levels, at state, national, international levels. Means it is also including the study about the international organizations. ठीक है? So public administration, as per its meaning, going back to the Frederick Mosser ने क्या बोला था? That since public administration has the two special characters, the element of variability and the element of dependency. That is why it is best that it should be left undefined. So in today's class, we will take up that some schools of thoughts relating to the scope of public administration. So यहाँ पर भी हम लोग उसी तरह से चलेंगे. Like we will take up first the narrow view, then broad view, then there is something called managerial view, then there is something called integral view. After that, we will take up the post-corp view, then we will take up the policy matter view, that is called the context view or the subject matter view, and then we will take up that there is something, a topic, a very interesting topic, that is called identity crisis of public administration. Getting my point? So identity crisis, then all these will help you to prepare about this topic that is called scope of public administration. So beginning with this narrow schools of thoughts. What do you mean by the narrow schools of thoughts? So यहाँ पर आप लोग दो चीजें ध्यान में रखेंगे, that narrow view as well as broad view. That narrow view and broad view basically focused on state actors. What is the point? They focused on state actors. So let us understand this narrow view. Narrow view say that the public administration means that is called executive arms of the state. What is the scope of public administration? Public administration, it includes the study about the executive arms of the state. क्यों? Because what is the ultimate objective of public administration? It is to study as well as to implement about the public policies. So thereby, who is responsible for implementing? That एक concept बताया था, that is called trinity of the state. That what do you mean by the state? That in the state or government के तीन important components होते हैं. That is first called legislature, executive and judiciary. So legislature is primarily responsible for law making. The executives, it is primarily responsible for law executions, and the judiciary, who is primarily responsible for judicial review or scrutiny of the public policies as well as the public laws. Getting my point? So these narrow schools, they focused on only the executive arms of the state. That is something called trinity of the state, means state or government has three organs in the horizontal division of powers, that is called legislature, executives and judiciary. So the narrow schools means there is something called a group of scholars or the thinkers belonging to a same philosophy. They focused on the one important aspect and one directional ideology. So now the narrow schools say that the public administration, its scope include only about the executive arms of the state. Public administration में nothing is final. So obviously इस school के भी counter में एक school आएगा and that will going to enrich the meaning, right? So second come, that is called broad schools or broader view. According to broader view, they say no, public administration is so wider that it cannot define only in single terms. Going back to the that is called Dwight Waldo, what he said, Dwight Waldo ने क्या बोला था कि the public administration, that is one sentence definition or one paragraph definition of public administration, is simply a mental paralysis and not a mental enlightenment and stimulus. Getting my point? So public administration is a wider concept, it's a dynamic concept. So we have to develop an workable understanding. We do not try to define in a single paragraph. Getting my point? So now the broad view say that public administration, the scope of public administration includes study about all the three organs of the state, that is legislature, executive as well as judiciary. So दोनों ही schools ने state actors पे focus किया. State, right? Now in new liberal time, in contemporary time, what is the public administration means? Public administration means the effective allocations of the public goods or effective allocations of the public values. So going back to Moore's concept of public values, मैंने last class में बताया था. What is the meaning? It is the service delivery of the goods and services. So thereby अभी के time में we are following the stakeholder approach. What is the ultimate stakeholder? Consumer. So satisfaction of the consumer is the most important things. So thereby private sectors are also there, public sectors are also there. There are some non-government institutions are there. There are some interest groups are there. So all are basically engaging for one purpose, that is for service of the people. Effective allocations of the goods and services to the citizens, to the last line, that is called consumer. Getting my point? So कुछ non-government institutions भी service provide करते हैं. Let's say during this time of pandemic, okay? So during this time of pandemic, lot of the stakeholder participation is required because it's a kind of calamity. So one component, that is something called government, cannot handle it very effectively. So thereby it requires the solicit participation of even the peoples as well. तभी ये सारे calamity को हम लोग win-win situation के साथ tackle कर सकते हैं, and again we can rejuvenate. So thereby the effective allocations सिर्फ government की ही responsibility नहीं है. Thereby number of responsibility, so that is undertaken by non-governmental institutions. So thereby scope of public administration means what? It also includes study about non-state actors as well. ठीक है? So public administration not only means the study of state actor but also includes the study about non-state actors as well. Non-state actors means non-governmental organizations. Non-state actors means civil society organizations. It also includes interest group. It also includes the private groups, right? So interest group, let's say pressure groups, non-governmental organizations, public-private organizations, all these comes under the domain of public administration. Okay? So then next school we will take up the managerial view. The managerial view, they say that the public administration is something which is guided by the managerial principles. It is the manager within the organizations whose decisions makes the organization successful as well as makes the organization dysfunctional. Okay? So before to move ahead with this managerial schools, let me put a thinker that is called Henry Fayol. Okay? Henry Fayol. So it is Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol, he was known as the father of modern science of management. Okay? In public administration, there are few famous scholars. You should remember all these because this will help you a better insight. Like Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, he was called the father of public administration. Okay? The F.W. Taylor, he was called the father of the scientific management movement. Then Henry Fayol, that he was known as father of modern science of management. Similarly, other scholars like there was Mary Parker Foley. She was the first lady administrative thinker, or you can call it scholar. Then there was Chester Bernard and Herbert Simon. They were called behavioralists, right? Similarly, there was the Gulick and Urwick. They are collectively called structuralists. They focused on structural aspect of public administration. Okay, so there were few important and significant names in public administration. You should know at least about these. So Henry Fayol was one of such scholar. He was called the father of modern science of management. क्यों? क्योंकि उन्होंने मैनेजरियल एस्पेक्ट पे ज्यादा फोकस किया था. व्हाट इज से कि मैनेजर इज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट ऑफ एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन and it is the manager whose decisions makes the organization successful or unsuccessful. So according to Henry Fayol से कि किसी भी organizations में basically कुछ important functions होते हैं. What are the functions? These functions are the integral functions as well as there are segmental functions. There are two important functions in an organization to remain functional. Integral function और कुछ segmental functions. So segmental functions में क्या क्या होते हैं? They are called technical function, financial, commercial, accounting, auditing. Okay. Then there is security functions. Then in integral function there is something called administration. So according to Henry Fayol, कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फंक्शनल है तो उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एक इंटीग्रल फंक्शंस और इंटीग्रल एक्टिविटीज होती है एंड देयर आर सम सेगमेंटल एक्टिविटीज. सेगमेंटल एक्टिविटीज इंक्लूड्स द टेक्निकल, फाइनेंशियल, कमर्शियल, अकाउंटिंग, ऑडिटिंग एंड सिक्योरिटी, एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज कॉल्ड इंटीग्रल फंक्शंस. Segmental functions because these functions can undertake in isolation. But without administration, none of the activities remains significant. It means administration is very inclusive to all the activities. Okay? For example, if we talk about technical functions means, let's say a technical departments, right? Let's say a communications department within the government of India. So communication department, there should be the communication engineers. They will undertake the technicalities of the communication system. Getting my point? Similarly, there are some the machinery part of the organizations. So the technical aspect of that machinery department is taken by, let's say, some mechanical engineers. So thereby there are some activities within the organization which are called technical in nature, right? So here what is required? Aptitude is required. Similarly, when we talk about the financial function means, let's say, monetary policy, the fiscal policy, credit policy, okay, the effective management of the financial resources. So this is called the financial functions. Then there is commercial functions, means trade and commerce. Similarly, the accounting and auditing functions, it means the bookkeeping of all the transactions. Getting my point? Then there is security, means there shall be the insurance, there shall be security to the life of the members of the organizations. There shall be the insurance schemes. So all these activities are called segmental activities, sectional activities. But administration, it means effective management of all the resources. This is something called the integral activities. कि integral activities ये impact करेगा all such activities. ठीक है? So what is administration? In the very beginning, in the very first class, I said the systematic effort undertaken by a group of peoples for the attainment of a goal, for the attainment of a common goal. That is something called administration. Okay? So it means for an organization, what is goal? Goal is the effective allocations of the goods and services, productions of goods and services to the people, and thereby there requires a systematic arrangement of all the things, arrangement of the structure, arrangement of its resources, arrangement of the human resources, arrangement of all these things. So thereby all the activities are connected, integrated with each other, supervised with each other through an very important activity that is called administration. This is the Henry Fayol's the vision with respect to organization functioning. He said that administration is taken by specialized, there is something called managers, and managers administration को undertake करता है, let's say, through some managerial techniques. ठीक है? He further said कि administration क्या काम करता है? He given a acronym that is called POC, POCC. So ऑब्जेक्टिव एमसीक्यूज भी पूछा जा सकता है. दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि POC was given by Henry Fayol. So POC means the planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating and controlling. So एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन प्राइमरीली क्या करता है? प्लानिंग, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग, कमांडिंग, कोऑर्डिनेटिंग एंड कंट्रोलिंग. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? सो देयरबाय what actually the managers do? The manager actually try to establish a command system within the organizations as well. The managers first make a plan that how the work to be taken up. Managers will build up the he will ensure any type of coordinations so that there shall be healthy competition within the organization. So thereby the administration, or in general the scope of public administration, means only the study about the managerial aspect, managerial functions. Coming back to this school of thoughts, that is something called managerial view. The scope of public administration includes the study about the managerial tools and techniques. Getting my point? So managerial means what? That is planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, controlling. Getting my point? Now, after this managerial schools, there was another school of thoughts. They countered. They said, no, public administration, okay, it's fine, but it not only restricted to the managerial aspect only, because within the organization there are clerical functions as well, there are technical functions as well, there are accounting, auditing, all those rest of the functions. So they say that managerial functions ही सिर्फ organization को success नहीं करेगा. There are managers, there are higher authority and responsibility, but if the manager give the command, they issue the instructions, and if let's say workers, they do not follow the command, if let's say the technical department within the organization do not comply with the command as it been issued by the manager, then what will happen? Result would be not effective. So thereby every department has to work with each other. It means administration not only restricted with study of the managerial functions, लेकिन उसको टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट को भी स्टडी करना पड़ेगा, कॉमर्शियल एस्पेक्ट को भी स्टडी करना पड़ेगा, कोऑर्डिनेशन एस्पेक्ट को भी स्टडी करना पड़ेगा. इट मींस ह्यूमन एस्पेक्ट विद इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को भी स्टडी करता है. देन एंड देन ना, इफ द पीपल शुड नॉट बी सेटिस्फाइड फ्रॉम विद इन, हाउ ही विल कंट्रीब्यूट टू द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस? It means the managers cannot be only a hard task master. The manager should also be an amateur psychologist. There is something called participative schools of thought. में आप पढ़ते होंगे कि there they focus on human aspect of the psychological aspect of the human beings. He said that कि within the organizations, human being not only depends on the monetary incentives, rather it also depends on non-monetary aspect as well. ठीक है? So thereby the integral views say that the scope of public administration includes the study about the technical, financial, commercial, clerical, all those activities which are undertaking within the organizations. So ये चार schools of thoughts को आप लिख सकते हैं. The narrow view, they focused on only executive arms of the state. The broader view, they focused on legislative, executive and judicial organs of the state, means something the enhancement in the opinions approach. Then come the managerial schools. The managerial, they say that the scope includes the managerial functioning within the organizations. Then come the integral schools. Integral views say that no, not only manager, rather it also includes the study about the clerical, study about the security, other aspect of within the organization, including the managerial activities. So thereby, in this way, the scope of public administration, it was getting wider. So इसमें से next two schools, they are very important. One is called post-corp view, and then we will take up the policy matter view. They are very, very important. Okay, now let's take the post-corp view. The post-corp, this term now seems to be familiar with all of you guys. ठीक है, public administration में इसका regular repeatedly use होता है. So now let's say कि what this post-corp schools of thought said with respect to the scope of public administration. Post-corp में every term has its meaning. Okay, I already told in the previous lectures, but still let's see. The P for planning, O for organizing, S for staffing, D for directing, CO for coordinating, R for reporting and budgeting. It means post-corp means the scope of public administration includes the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting within the organizations. So in general, in simple terms, what we say that it actually talks about the study about the tools and techniques of the organizations. Okay? The tools and techniques means managerial principles, managerial instrumentalities within the organizations. Managers के tools क्या होते हैं? Planning. It means managers, what he do? He planned before to undertake any of the job. What is his job? Second, he actually what a managers do? He organize the things, organizations of available resources, the material resources as well as human resources with respect to requirement of the jobs. So thereby, lot of the functioning, lot of the activities undertaken by the manager within the organizations. So in short, you can say the scope of public administration includes the study about the managerial tools and techniques of the organizations. And managerial tools and technique means the planning, organizing, staffing, budgeting, reporting, coordinating, and all these. Okay? But after this managerial schools, there is something called the context view or the policy matter view, or there is something called the subject matter view. Okay? The subject matter view. Subject matter view, or this is called policy matter view. So the scholars of this school, that is called policy matter view, say, okay, one, you are talking about the studies about the planning, organizing, and all these, that is called post-core view. It means the managerial tools and techniques. But if the managerial tools and techniques you apply without any context, you apply without any subject, then these tools and techniques would be meaningless. It means before to apply these tools and techniques, one need to understand the context of the that is called area of applications. So the policy matters say that tools and techniques would be meaningless without its context. So the public administration, which is called the government administration. जब भी हम लोग public administration की बात करते हैं तो हमारे दिमाग में क्या आता है? It is public bureaucracy. It is something called government. It is something called the bureaucratic structure. So thereby, what is the government do? The government do for the welfare of the people. According to DeWitt world of view, the public administration means all the activities undertaken by the government to take care of the people, to serve the people. It means the government, how the government do? Government do through a external arm of the state, that is something called administration. So thereby, public administration means the government administration. So government administration, how take care or how he will ensure the service of the people. That government ensure the service of the people through a mechanism that is something called policy. So thereby, जो हम लोग कॉन्टेक्स्ट की बात कर रहे हैं कि किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हमें टूल्स एंड टेक्निक्स को अप्लाई करना चाहिए, सो दैट कॉन्टेक्स्ट इज कैप्चर्ड बाय पॉलिसी. सो पॉलिसी इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एक्सटर्नल पार्ट, राइट? सो पॉलिसी मैटर व्यू से दैट there shall be policy, and with respect to the policy, so you can write a statement that the government captures the context through the policy, right? So policy matters view say that the scope of public administration means the study about the tools and techniques with a context, and that context is captured by the government through the policy. Now if policy matter view means policy for what? Policy for welfare of the people. The welfare means what? The citizens needs education. The citizens need infrastructure. The citizens need roads, railways. All those are captured through the policy. It means the policy not only require a special mechanism, rather it requires both understanding with respect to the theory as well as with respect to the ground realities. So thereby, एक तरह से आपको पॉलिसी के फिलोसॉफिकल एस्पेक्ट को भी जानने की जरूरत है और दूसरा उसके ग्राउंड रियलिटीज को भी जानने की जरूरत है. सो इन दिस वे, आफ्टर द पॉलिसी मैटर व्यू, देयर वाज द प्रॉब्लम स्टार्टेड विद द पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. तो जब ये पॉलिसी मैटर व्यू का इमर्जेंस हो रहा था तो पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बिकम्स सो एनरिच दैट इट बिकम्स द इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी। इट मीन्स द पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में अब पॉलिटिकल साइंस के भी कॉन्सेप्ट इंक्लूड हो रहा है, मैनेजमेंट साइंस के भी कॉन्सेप्ट इंक्लूड हो रहा है, फिलोसफी के भी कॉन्सेप्ट इंक्लूड हो रहा है, एंड पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बिकम सो एनरिच्ड। इवन समटाइम्स पॉलिटिकल साइंस बिकम subsumes within the public administration. Public administration becomes so vibrant. Public administration becomes so visible during 1950s and 60s. So thereby, even it leads to the challenge of the political science as well. The political science के questioning होना शुरू हो गया कि what is the relevance of then political science? It is the public administration only who is going to address the needs of the people. It is the जो भी government है वो दिखता है, right? So thereby, after the policy matter view, there was a topic, very interesting topic, that is called identity crisis of public administration. So what was that identity crisis? That here it is the public administration, and in this domain of public administration, there were two disciplines. One is called the political science and another that is called management science. These two disciplines, one is called political science, which is called the mother discipline of public administration, and the management science, which is called sister discipline of public administration. So the mother discipline attacked with aggressions and the management science attacked with indifference, right? You write in a statement that the political science attacked with aggressions and management science attacked with indifference. Okay? So let us take this identity crisis, and this will complete the understanding of scope of public administration, and further it will give a very interesting and soothing experience with respect to understanding the scope of public administration. Okay, so let's see what is this identity crisis. So it's a interesting story. During the 1950s and 60s, that 1950s and 60s, there was the क्वेश्चनिंग अबाउट द आइडेंटिटी ऑफ पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, कि जब पॉलिसी मैटर व्यू आया तो पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की बाउंड्री इतनी बढ़ गई कि वो अपने डोमेन में पॉलिटिकल साइंस को भी इंक्लूड करते चला जा रहा है, मैनेजमेंट साइंस को भी इंक्लूड करते चला जा रहा है, फिलॉसफी के भी कॉन्सेप्ट को बोरो कर रहा है, अदर डिसिप्लिन के एरियाज को भी वो बोरो करते चला जा रहा है. सो उस ड्यूरेशन में देयर वर टू इंपॉर्टेंट प्रॉब्लम्स एसोसिएटेड with the public administration. पहला कि the question of interdisciplinary nature, कि public administration की अपनी self identity कुछ है ही नहीं, ये तो दूसरे सब्जेक्ट्स के कॉन्सेप्ट को बोरो करता है और अपने को कुछ क्लेम करते जा रहा है. Second, that there were the two discipline that is called political science, which is called mother discipline, attacked with aggression. How? कि mother discipline political science primarily the public policy का जो एरिया है, that is the subject of the political science. So political science ने बोला कि you are talking about the public policy. Scope of public administration means what? The context is captured through the policy. So policy क्या है? Policy एक philosophical concept है, and that is the domain of political science, not the public administration. So the बहुत at maximum क्या हो सकता है कि public administration political science का एक specialized branch हो सकता है. ये कोई डिसिप्लिन नहीं है या इंडिपेंडेंट एग्जिस्टेंस इसका नहीं होता, ये तो एक स्पेशलाइज्ड ब्रांच एट मैक्सिमम हो सकता है. सो दिस इज समथिंग कॉल्ड द पॉलिटिकल साइंस अटैक्ड विद एग्रेशंस. क्योंकि एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल है कि विद इन द फैमिली मदर अपने बच्चे को कैसे स्कोल्ड करती है कि कोई इतना भी बड़ा हो जाए. सो बट फॉर ए मदर ऑलवेज द बॉय और सन इज ए काइंड ऑफ किड. सो सिमिलर टू दैट द पॉलिटिकल साइंस अटैक विद एग्रेशंस. So she said that at maximum public administration एक specialized branch हो सकता है, it cannot be a independent discipline. On the other hand, the management science was there. Management science say that domain of public administration is also to study about the managerial tools and techniques, post-corp etc. So planning, organizing, commanding, ये तो management science की terminologies है. Public administration इस पे कैसे claim कर सकता है? Okay, so management science is which is referred as the sister discipline of public administration, so attacked with indifference. Getting my point? So identity crisis को public administration के scholars, some prominents like the Fredericksons, like the Dwight-Waldo, okay, like the Fredericks, they defended this discipline and around 1970s के आसपास the domain of public administration as well as content of public administration दोनों ही clear हो गया and it was established. ठीक है, so write a point that during the 1970s the two term is used, the locus and focus. So locus of public administration as well as focus of public administration both was established. Locus and focus, it was given by a public administration thinker called Golembisky, right? So MCQs पूछा जा सकता है कि who had given the concept of locus and focus in public administration? So it was Golembisky. So locus and focus, locus means what is the domain of public administration, कि public administration क्या क्या study करता है, and focus means what are the tools and techniques of public administration. ठीक है, so locus means what is the boundary of public administration and focus means what are the instrumentalities or what are the instrument of public administration. So ये कब establish हुआ? 1970s के आसपास. But 1950s and 60s के आसपास क्या था? Identity crisis था. So let us take one by one and how the scholars defended. Getting my point? Now, the first of all we'll take the debate between the public administrations and political science. So political science, what the political science said? The political science say that at maximum the public administration could be a specialized branch of political science. Now the scholars like the Fredricksons, the scholars like the Fredricksons, the scholars like Duitwaldo, the scholars like Fredericks, they come during 1960s and 1970s. So the scholars in public administrations like Duitwaldo, Fredricksons, okay, then Fredericks, they come and defended the discipline during 1960s and the 1970s. Duitwaldo याद है, who has given the publicness character, ठीक है, public administration में public का meaning क्या है? Government. So that is called publicness character of public administration. So they say that okay, public administration accepted कि yes, the political science is a very old discipline. It is as old as more than 2200 years and even more than that. So it is very mature discipline. So political science captures the concept of statecraft. The political science, even it is, you can get the reference in Kautilya's Arthashastra, you can get its reference in the Machiavelli's concept of the prince, okay, the statecraft, that is Kautilya's Arthashastra, it talks about the statecraft. Confucius philosophy also talks about the political science. So thereby political science की एक अपनी एक history है, एक बहुत पुरानी डिसिप्लिन है, एक बहुत मेच्योर डिसिप्लिन है. बट जब भी हम लोग स्टेट की बात करते हैं तो स्टेट में दो इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट होता है. वन इज कॉल्ड द फिलोसॉफिकल पार्ट एंड अनदर इज कॉल्ड एक्सटर्नल पार्ट. ओके, सो लेट्स से so state has two important component, that is called philosophical part and there is something called external part. So the philosophical part of the state are basically associated with political science and external part of the state is associated with public administration. ठीक है, इसको थोड़ा सा और समझ लो. What they try to defend, that scholars in public administration during 1960s and 70s, they said that in state there are the two important components. One is called philosophical part and another is called external part of the state. State याद है, what is state? The state is defined through 5 criteria, or in the last class what I said, that in the concept of the nature of a state there is something called Leviana. So state is a collective entity where there is a symbiotic relationship between the citizens and the collective entity, that is something called Leviana. ठीक है, और हाईएस्ट मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ लेवियाना क्या था? इट वाज दैट स्टेट. सो देयरबाय स्टेट हैज कैरेक्टराइज्ड विद 5 कैरेक्टर्स. नंबर 1, इट्स अ टेरिटरी, पीपल, गवर्नमेंट, sovereign government and international recognitions. The people elects their government, the government makes the policies and laws for the people and they implement those laws and policy for the people. So thereby there is a process that is called law making, as well as there is a process that is something called law implementations. Getting my point? So in the older days, during the monarchic time, during 2200 years back, external part of the state was not so visible because क्या था, monarchy था, centralization of power था, individual liberty नहीं था, the peoples were subject, they do not exercise their liberty, they cannot be demanding, they cannot put pressures over the government, that is called monarch. So thereby monarch का function जो था, government का function क्या था, simple था, government का function क्या था, limited था. So thereby implementation part do not require a very special machinery. उसके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा स्पेशलाइज ब्रांच की जरूरत नहीं थी. देयर इज समथिंग डू नॉट कॉल पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एज अ डिसिप्लिन. बट आफ्टर द 16th and the 17th century, after the period of enlightenment, the Renaissance, or particularly after the industrial revolutions, the organizational structure become complex. Organizational structure activities become complex. So thereby अब functions of the government becomes very very complex and very very wider. इसको एडहॉक तरीके से मैनेज नहीं किया जा सकता है. इट रिक्वायर्स ए सिस्टमेटिक स्टडी एंड दैट गिव इमर्जेंस ऑफ व्हाट, ए डिसिप्लिन, दैट इज समथिंग कॉल्ड पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. सो व्हाट इज पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन? पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन मीन्स ए सिस्टमेटिक एफर्ट undertaken by a group of peoples for the people or to take care of the people, right? So that is called systematic effort. So thereby when that organizational become complex, its activities become so wider, you cannot take as a granted. So thereby the public policy, that aspect, philosophical part is undertaken by the political science, but the very external part is taken by a specialized branch that is called public administration. So thereby in this debate the political science is theoretical and the public administration is technical. The political science is philosophical, the public administration is more technical. The political science focused on the philosophical part of the state and public administration focused on external part of the state. It focused on executive part of the state. Getting my point? So how they defended? The scholars in the public administration during 1960s and the 70s, they defended this discipline. They say that political science is very philosophical and the public administration is technical. It's more action oriented, it is maximum executive oriented. Getting my point? So thereby public administration is called external arm of the state. Okay, तो साथ ही साथ जो सेकेंड डिसिप्लिन है दैट इज कॉल्ड मैनेजमेंट साइंस, CAT Act. Okay, so say that the public administration also saying that the scope means study about the post-core view, planning, organizing, commanding, directing and all. So thereby these terminologies actually belongs to management science. तो इसको थोड़ा सिंपल समझते हैं कि मैनेजमेंट साइंस प्राइमरीली फोकस किस पे करता है? प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन. मैनेजमेंट साइंस प्राइमरीली फोकस किस पे करता है? दैट इज ऑन इफिशियंसी. द मैनेजमेंट साइंस प्राइमरीली फोकस किस पे करेगा? इफेक्टिवनेस पे. सो मैनेजमेंट साइंस प्राइमरीली फोकस ऑन इफिशियंसी, इफेक्टिवनेस, प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशंस. बट ऑन द अनदर हैंड द पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन फोकस ऑन इफिशियंसी, इफेक्टिवनेस एंड इक्विटी. ठीक है, पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन फोकस ऑन इक्विटी, पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन फोकस ऑन justice, equity, justice. So the public administration try to bring an egalitarian society. It try to bring and it try to reduce the inequalities in terms of the economic inequalities, in terms of social inequalities. But for the management science, what is the ultimate objective? That is the profit maximizations. Objective is efficiency of the organizations. It do not take too much care about the citizens of the society. Okay, so हम लोग मार्केट प्रिंसिपल्स के डिबेट में ऑलरेडी देख चुके हैं. बट ओके, द प्राइवेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, होपफुली आफ्टर दिस क्लास द नेक्स्ट वीडियो वुड कम दैट इज कॉल्ड द पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वर्सेस प्राइवेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, जहां पर हम लोग और अच्छे से समझेंगे कि व्हाट आर द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द पब्लिक एरिया एंड द प्राइवेट एरिया. सो ट्राइंग टू फोकस दैट हाउ दे डिफेंडेड that the management science will primarily focus on efficiency, effectiveness, but the public administration focus on efficiency, effectiveness as well as equity. It talks about egalitarian equality, it talks about the justice. So thereby there is a difference between management science and the public administration. Okay, and what is the difference? The management science is more technical and the public administration here more philosophical. Okay, the pubad is more philosophical. Same thing. So while defending with management science, the scholars say that management science is more technical and pubad is what? More philosophical. But the same scholars, while defending with the political science, they say that the political science is more philosophical and the public administration is more technical. What is? So difference is here philosophy, the difference is here also the philosophy. So thereby, this debate, and after this debate during 1970, what was established? The domain of public administration, that is called locus of public administration, was very established, and the focus of our public administration, it was also established, and that was the concept of locus and focus given by Golumbisky. So as a conclusion to this debate, draw this diagram. Okay, the scholars said that the very core of public administration, which means the tools and techniques of public administration, it actually forms the core of public administration, and public policy forms the periphery of public administration. They further said that the core of public administration is very stable and the periphery of public administration is oscillatory. It means the very core of public administration is a stable core and the periphery of public administration is oscillatory. So through its core, it means through the tools and techniques, it try to make it efficient, and through this public policy, it try to widen its scope, to widen its structure. Okay, so this is the one aspect of this conflict, or you can call it identity crisis. They further said that in today's time, that every discipline is a multidisciplinary in nature, interdisciplinary in nature. If you look at the political science, they also take the concept and they borrow the concept from other, like the philosophy. They also borrow the concepts like the sociology. So none of the discipline in today's time can exist in isolations. Every discipline is interdisciplinary in nature, multidisciplinary in nature. So multidisciplinary होना या फिर interdisciplinary होना कोई weakness नहीं है. It is the reality and it is the very strength of the discipline, because being a multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary in nature, you actually widens your scope, you actually enriches your understanding, and you actually covers a multi-diverse areas. So every discipline is multidisciplinary, every discipline is the interdisciplinary. So public administration is also interdisciplinary in nature, it is a very reality. Not only PubAd, but other disciplines are also multidisciplinary in nature, and none of the discipline can exist in isolation in today's time. Getting my point? So write a simple statement that the public administration has a stable core and its oscillatory boundary or oscillating boundary. So the core actually captures the tools and techniques, and the periphery actually understand through its the policy aspect. Okay? So let us concluding this the today's session, that in a scope कैसे आपको पढ़ना है. First of all, you take up the individual scholars, then you take up this school of thoughts. In the individual scholars, that important were, that is the what were that? That is called Belly and Ridley, then Fifner, and then Willoughby. They say that organizational the scope of public administration include what? Organizational structure, process, and behavior. They also talks about the futuristic aspect. They talks about the descriptive as well as normative aspect. Then in the groups of schools of thought, we have taken the narrow view, they focused only on executive arm. We have taken the broad view, focused on legislative, executive, and judicial organs of the states. So it further said that scope not only includes the state actors but also include the non-state actors, like study about the NGOs, civil society organizations, like the pressure groups, like the interest groups as well. Then there was that something called the managerial schools. They say that within the organization there are a number of activities, but primarily scope of public administration includes only the managerial activities within the organizations, because it is the manager's decision which makes the organization successful or unsuccessful. Another school, that is called integral view, they say that not only the managerial activity but also includes the technical, financial, commercial, security, accounting, and everything within the organizations. That is called integral view. लेकिन फिर बाद में कौन आया? पोस्ट कॉर्प स्कूल्स. पोस्ट कॉर्प से the scope means the study about the planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, reporting, budgeting, and all. They say that then the policy matter view come. The policy matter say that no, सिर्फ टूल्स एंड टेक्निक्स को स्टडी करना नहीं. So it is relevant when it is studied with certain context. Then they talk about the policy matter view. कि whenever we say the public administration means the government administration. So government administration captures the context through the public policies. So the public policy view makes the subject very wider. And during 1950s, what was the problem? The problem was the problem of identity crisis. The political science attacked with aggressions and management science attacked with indifference. The scholars in PubMed prominent were Fredrickson, Dietwaldo and Friedrichs. They defended the discipline during 1960s. Okay, and 1970 tak aate aate the both locus and focus of the public administration it was established. Locus and focus, this concept, the terms were given by Golembowski. Getting my point? Now, in addition to this, you keep a mind map that there is something called 1950, and 1950 this was the time of beginning of comparative public administration, that is called CPA. Then 1960 there was something called developmental administration, DA. During 1970 there was something called new right philosophy or emergence of NRP, that also known as New Public Administration, NPA. Then during the 1980, it was a time that is called CPA2, or there is something called NCPA, right? New Comparative Public Administration. And during the 1990 onwards, there is something called New Public Management, NPM, or good governance. So good governance is something called the new avatar of the new public administration. कि जब new right philosophy आया, then it was a movement that there was an emergence of what? A new style of management, and that is called new public management. We will take up in the subsequent lectures, so do not bother about it. So this is the sequence of development of this administration, or this discipline that is called public administration. Comparative public administration basically enrich करता है इस subject को. We will take up that what is the meaning of the administration or system, that is something called administration in the context of the developed country like the Weber. We will take up the Weber especially, and in the context of developing country there was something called Riggs model, that is called pragmatic Sala society. There was a Riggsian model. Getting my point? So you keep it in mind, it will help you somewhere. This is the chronology of the development of this discipline from the 1950s till 1990, and after 1990 onward, focus was on good governance, multi-stakeholder participatory approach. Okay? So how they defended during the 1960s and 70s? So while defending with the political science, they defended that the political science primarily focused on philosophical aspect of the state, and public administration focus on external arm of the state. It is more technical in nature. While defending with the management science, they say that management science focused on efficiency, effectiveness, that is maximization of profit. But public administration focus on equity, justice, efficiency and effectiveness as well. So thereby the management science is more technical and public administration is more philosophical. So with these all statement, you can conclude the scope that you can conclude in this way that the public administration has a very stable core and a oscillatory boundary or a vacillating boundary. Getting my point? So I hope these classes and these concepts will enrich you to make up a continuity understanding with this paper, because this paper requires a lot of clear concepts. Okay, and these classes definitely will going to help you to write the answers. Now tell me, अब आप scope से question आएगा, so can you write the 6 pages? Of course you have, lot of content you have. So thereby, with these terms I am concluding our today's class, and in the next class we will take up the next concept, okay, that private administration as well as public administration, the difference as well as similarity between these two, and there was a topics specifically mentioned. So you keep revise, visiting our the videos, and also that make note along with the classes. Then only it will help you to understand the next class. Okay, so take care, goodbye, have a nice day, bye bye.